I released a video where I described my first impressions of Doom VR, or VFR as it is known, and I was reading the comments and saw somebody saying, "That's it, I'm going to buy virtual reality headset and Doom, you've convinced me." And I realized I didn't actually deal with that issue. I didn't say, is it worth running out now and investing in a VR solution, as I did in my previous video. And that was a massive mistake, a big omission on my part, and I do apologize, and I'm going to answer that now. I've just rewatched the video I released, and obviously I sound really excited, and I've got the normal Doom footage in the background and the music playing, and it's all high octane, and it really does rev you up, which is how I felt when I was playing. But that really is not the best state for you to make an informed decision about whether or not you should run out now and spend a fortune on a VR headset. So for this video, I'm going to use some very boring graphic, I'm going to play some calm music, and I'm going to try and keep my excitement down and discuss the topic, is it actually worth buying VR for Doom? The short version of the answer is no. Don't go out and buy a VR solution right now so that you can play Doom when it gets released. For a start, I've not played the full game. I played a demo that was very exciting. It was a lot of fun, but it was only about 15 minutes of play. For all I know, the full game will come out with an entire 1 hour of content and be a real disappointment. It might not have any story or any character. We don't know. I mean, I loved Doom, the new game, but it had its own character. It did have a story that was actually reasonable, and, you know, it didn't get in the way of murdering the demons, but it was, for all intents and purposes, a well-rounded shooter game. We don't know if that's going to be the case with the VR one. These were just my first impressions, and I'm sorry if I gave the impression that this was an endorsement of what the final product will be. I probably should have said this. I really should have, hammered home. This was just a teaser to get me excited, and I guess therefore to get you excited. Let's calm down and think about this. Don't buy a game until you've heard a review, probably by a professional, not someone like me, who has played the game all the way through. Secondly, my appreciation of the VR experience might not be something that you share. I know a lot of people are just really going to hate the dash movement or the teleportation for jumping across chasms and that sort of thing. They're just going to find that ridiculously annoying. I didn't find it annoying because I was kind of used to this. I've tried various other V games. I've got used to the idea that normal motion is nausea-inducing, and so I expect this from games. I mean, I was actually really pleasantly surprised when I tried Fallout 4 and found I could move normally. That was a really exciting revelation for me. So in Doom, a game that is a lot faster, when it was using dash mechanics, that felt like a good middle ground, but it might not work for you. So I would really recommend you go off and try it out somewhere. I'm not sure how difficult that is. I'm obviously in a fairly privileged position here in that I got invited to try it out, and indeed I do have an Oculus headset, so I've got some experience with VR. That may not be something you can do, and if you can't, I'd suggest you ask yourself how badly you want to try VR out. I only justified it because of this channel. Had I not had this channel and wanted to stay at least vaguely in the know, I would never have been able to justify buying this, and even though I've bought it, I find it a little hard to justify, seeing as I didn't end up using it for anything, so it was a bit of a loss for me. Obviously, if you already have the hardware, it's not that big a deal. I'd still recommend waiting for the review, unless you want to be the person doing the reviewing. But overall, it'll probably be another $60, and if you own a VR headset, chances are that's not going to be something that breaks the bank. Just keep in mind that the video I made, whilst I was ridiculously excited, it was based upon 15 minutes of play, and I'm someone who's kind of used to the VR way of doing things, and so was not expecting an absolute replica of the original Doom game, a game I do love. And let me apologise for making this mistake in the first place. I should have discussed this in the original video. Of course I did in the Skyrim and Fallout 4 video. I basically just forgot to add this. I forgot to add this section, and it's a critical section. I should not have forgotten it. There really is no excuse beyond being overly excited about something that, of course, gave me a huge pang of nostalgia as well as excitement. Please keep your expectations grounded, and do remember that this is still a huge amount of money, and the game itself, the final game, is a bit of an unknown. I liked what I saw. I'm not changing my opinion of how great it was to try this, but of course it's a very personal experience on a very small part of the game. You need to wait for the game reviews, and you need to go off and experience VR for yourself and find out if it's for you, because it might just not be the thing for you. It might not work for you. Find out before you put a lot of money into a system you may end up not using.